Good day, all. My name is Robert Savino, and I'm on the board here at the Walt Whitman Birthplace. I greet you today on behalf of our Executive Director, Caitlin Shea, and the Walt Whitman Birthplace Association Museum, and welcome you to the fifth gathering of Season 4's Triangulation Journey, Poets Building Bridges. Poets Building Bridges is produced by Poetry Bay for the Walt Whitman Birthplace and led by George Wallace, who's been the writer in residence for 15 years now. The Birthplace offers events throughout the year. Some of them are on Zoom, and I recommend that you visit our website at www.waltwhitman.org, and I believe that's up in the chat room. I thank all the poets and guests for joining us here today on this journey. I thank Karen for filling in as our technical director at the Birthplace. And as always, I thank George for his continuance of this program and for all he contributes to the Birthplace and to poetry throughout our community as well as worldwide. And now I turn the program over to our internationally famed leader, George Wallace.
Thank you, Robert Savino. Robert Savino, by the way, is in addition to being on the board of directors, is a former Suffolk County Poet Laureate and a fine poet in his own right. So thank you for supporting us by introducing it month after month, Robert, and we'll proceed. This Poets Building Bridges program is becoming easier and easier and more fun to create year by year. We're completing our fourth season. I have a lot of good plans for the fifth season coming up for 2026. But the reason it's so much fun is because I've met most of you, or if not everybody here, either in Eastern Pennsylvania or out in the Bay Area. I've stayed at some of your houses for that matter. Thank you for that. Or in New York City, of course, or, one or more of the various festivals, international festivals that I've participated in. So the magic of this is the magic of the international poetry community and how there are intersections between the different communities. And this is just an expression of that. So, um, nice expression of it. And the fact that we triangulate separate groups rather than just a random sampling of 20 people or something like that. Helps to double down and emphasize the fact that there are communities, local communities of poets, within the umbrella of this, what I hope is an international assemblage and collection and community of poetry worldwide. So that's the objective of the program, and I thank you for being part of it. We have three poets with us today who are compares for their groups: Ron Kolm, Tozan Alkan, and Lynn Alexander. I'll introduce each one of them one by one, and then they will present their groups to you. Ron, of course, Ron Kolm. Even Wikipedia says he's a mainstay of the downtown poetry movement in New York City. And he's shaking his head no, but it's true. He's really very firmly established and his hands in a lot of different activities and a founder of many different activities, including Brevitas, which I think he's representing today, but also a very cool collection of wild people called the Unbearables. And Ron is known for his associations through having worked in bookstores in New York City for many years. So please welcome, representing a group of poets from New York City, Ron Kolm.
Thank you so very much, George. I want to thank you for all the wonderful work you've done for the world of poetry. It is amazing. And I do want to thank Patricia Carragon for going through all this stuff. She's been doing so much work. She did help get out the link and all the rest of that stuff. She's wonderful. So the order, I'd like Patricia Carragon to start, and she'll be followed by Austin Alexis, then Jeff Wright. And if there is any time left, I'll read a poem or two or three at the end, but I'll wait. I'll definitely, I want the other three, I want the other poets to have a great time. So this would start off with Patricia Carragon.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you, George. Thank you, everybody. Give it all you got. New York was Superfly City, provocative, dangerous, a city on fire, its thrill of expectation, The hieroglyphic B train her dollar ride to dreamland. She chewed gum, wore big hair, earrings, and anxiety. Her Walkman played Chuck Mangione. Upbeat notes danced in her ears, oblivious to underground leers. Another day of dodging stares and aggressive comments. Another day of brown-nosing the boss and dealing with micromanagers. Another day of vying for the corner office and the perks from a pinstripe prince with a 6-digit income. Another day of doing more than her share. She gave it all she got. The gum chewing stopped. The accent faded. The earrings shrank. The hair tamed into a bob. But blonde highlights couldn't hide working class roots and naivety. Her desk had no photos of life after 9 to 5. Her social life had limitations. Her world revolved around her mother. Her eyes conveyed who she was. The lower middle management job kept her sandwiched between fresh-faced trust fund kids and a disrespectful male team. 25 years later, the axe fell. The prince never came, only age and insecurity. Death freed her from her mother. Lockdown freed her from office politics. While jiving to YouTube and Chuck Mangione, she ditched her cassettes and Walkman. She became who she was, and the gates came crashing down. Thank you. Towers for the poor. They built a tower for those of moderate income. They placed a red line around this tower, camouflaged its identity. The people of the tower did get poorer, and in time this list got longer. So they built another tower, and another, and another. The dominoes of poverty formed a pattern of towers. The patterns multiplied, and so did the red lines. No one outside the towers cared about the towers. With age came neglect. Cracks formed tributaries on walls. Plaster and paint fell like hail. It might be sunny outside, but the ceilings knew precipitation. Appliances, doors, and windows broken like the system. Buffet of trash aplenty, a party for roaches, mice, and rats. If inspectors paid visits, they'd write up reports to be filed under inaction. They got paid for work not done, like the politicians who lie and pick your pockets. The violations multiplied into an explosion. One tower's wall collapsed, but no one was hurt. The tower was declared unsafe. The poor were evacuated to temporary shelters. Was the culprit an unchecked boiler or a faulty chimney? The city plans to investigate, but we know why the tower fell. Like that flick of the finger when playing dominoes. Which tower will fall next? Beautiful bones. She had beautiful bones, graceful curves from another time, but the years didn't treat her well. Season after season, she stood like a grande dame, witnessed the birth of another century, not for better, but for worse. Weeds grew around her. Poverty infected her. Like an incurable disease, it jumped from house to house, spreading its anxiety and despair. Even the strongest were not immune. The weather grew grayer and colder. Her sturdy roof weakened, couldn't keep fighting the storms. Her window panes surrendered to leaks. Her swollen ceilings broke down and cried. As water trickled down her walls, her beautiful bones became brittle. The chill inside worsened, and the marble fireplace too tired to comfort her aging owner. Abandonment moved in, her beautiful bones held onto her curbs. She watched greed invite gentrification. They built a green fence around her. They came for her neighbors as well. No remorse for the happiness that created her foundation and earliest memories. Her shabby doors, faded shingles, and broken window frames were dismantled, tossed as trash. Even in death, amid the dust and rubble, her bones were still beautiful. A plain brick box is being built on her unmarked grave. Her beautiful bones now rest in landfill. It's a jazz poem, Little Things Mean a Lot. Slow and steady, the old turntable waltzed. Her favorite chanteuse sang, Little Things Mean a Lot. She never wanted diamonds or pearls. She liked it when he blew her a kiss or touched her hair. Little things meant a lot. A walk in a park, a love song at night, a glass of California wine. She would smile at dogs, feed the stray cats, let the summer rain soak her to the skin. Slow and steady, the old turntable waltzed. Her favorite chanteuse sang, Little Things Mean a Lot. But she was gone, and his grief had no place to go. Her cat kept time with the music, purring as she rubbed against him. He blew her a kiss, whispered, Kitty, come to Daddy. The summer rain danced without end. And I'm going to end with this Louis Armstrong piece, What a Wonderful World. In a world of breaking news fed by the oligarch's will, stop, breathe, close your eyes, zone out, and heal. The collective is texting you. The world is still worth saving. Beauty's tough, a seasoned survivor, from a child's imagination to the tiniest leaf. Take a walk and observe the trees. They are way wiser. They don't complicate matters. They live in the now. The roses will return. Ask each crocus and daffodil, and the tulip too. April showers wash this landscape. A rainbow curves over the Verrazano. The cold gray sky turns cornflower blue. The snow belongs to yesterday. Kids want to play by the swings, hear Mr. Softy's jingle up the block. Your life won't be perfect, but kindness and serenity won't cost a cent. The collective texts you again. Yes, the world is still worth saving. Dictators will come and go, and humanity will have the last word. Thank you, everybody. Stay safe.
The next poet to read will be Austin Alexis. Hi, Austin.
Hi, Ron. Thank you, Ron, Kolm, and George Wallace, and Patricia Carragon, and the Walt Whitman Birthplace. 3 short poems. Deliberate misstatements. Your leaders are liars. They have a facility for falsehoods, a finely honed aptitude to further their causes with the sickness of untruthfulness. They have birthed from the nest of their corruption a cancer no chemotherapy can cure. Misinformation disguised as being a big, beautiful salve they've designed to soothe wounds to their egos, threats to their power, affronts to their bank accounts. Through their scheming speech, which is joined to the joints of their manipulative fingers, they've amassed wealth. They have pickpocketed from the pants of their foes and their followers. Public action. Pretend you don't hear it. The politicians' distorted way of saying what they say needs to be said. A shortcut through the truth that amounts to hypnotizing you. Turn your eyes away from the back and forth swing of the pendant meant to lull you to accept the politician's chants of persuasive words you suspect you shouldn't trust. If you must listen, use a filter like a condom that will trap diseases of the phrases they are glibly transmitting, or to be more precise, propagating. And I'll end with this very short poem from my new book, The Whirlpool Bath. I hope you can see it. My first new book in 11 and a half years. And it starts with a lot of poems about the gym. That's why there's a woman in a sauna on the front cover. But I'll read one of the poems from the middle of the book. Drag. Now you look good, said the bar bouncer to the resident drag queen after she had taken off wig and makeup. These words were a tornado that ripped apart the life the drag queen had envisioned. These syllables were the tsunami that drowned the joy of jewelry, stockings, and high heels. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Austin. That was wonderful. And your new book is terrific. It's a really terrific book. Very cool.
Oh, thank you.
It's wonderful. The next person to read will be Jeffrey Cyphers Wright. Jeff Wright. Wonderful poet, wonderful person. Go, Jeff.
Just a minute. Oh, thank you, Ron. Oh, did you want to say something? Yeah, move over there for a minute. Let me say something here. I just want to say, Jeff, you should remember to thank George and thank Ron and kiss Patricia. Now, wait, stop and say hi to Linda. Oh, okay, wait a minute. Is that all you want to do? No, I want to read a little haiku. Okay. It's called, and then I'm going to introduce you. Well, all right. But you're cutting into my time. Oh, shut up. Okay, so here's my haiku. It goes like this. It's dedicated to George's boarding school, where I was prep in the military for at least till I got kicked out of, What? Oh, maybe not. But anyway, here's my haiku. It needs a name, everyone. It goes like this. A butterfly flew into my ear, and out of my mouth came a bumblebee. Well, I think you should change that. Oh, you mean like into my ear flew a bumblebee and out of my mouth came a butterfly. Yeah, that's much better. Thank you. You're welcome. Yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you, George. Thank you, Ron. Ah, thank you, Rufus. Right. Oh, listen, Jeff is going to read from his new book called Erato's Inbox. And I knew Erato. What? No, I really did. We went to school together. George, no, stop. Come on. Okay. Thank you, Rufus, you little dog. Rufus is such a ham. He's got the same birthday as George, too. Well, anyway, excuse me. And now that I've got myself all worked up, I was going to read from my new book, too, like Austin there. And this is called Erato's Inbox. And I wanted people to, I was thinking about Erato and I thought nobody knows shit about, she's like the really cool one, the goddess of poetry and erotic poetry. She actually was Eros's girlfriend for a while. So anyway, so I wrote this book in her voice, and it's a diary kind of thing, and it's got all these wonderful AI illustrations in it that were prompts from the poem. And I'm just going to read a little bit. It starts off on Sunday before she's met her new lover. Because what happens is she goes through time and she actually writes the poems and gives them to the poets. So she doesn't die, but all her lovers have to be replaced and then writing new poems about her. Behold, I am Erato, daughter of Mnemosyne and Zeus. Welcome to the museum of the unknown muse. Muse or goddess or an amuse boucher. I am the muse of poetry, Virgil's lighthouse on the horizon's prow, reaching into ink's canteen, living in a pen of filters. I am a doghouse on pause, a bad example of a good deed going off the deep end. I glide to you on gilded glyphs, my heart in a dither, my MO in heat. My untranquil quill uncoils qualms rising from my unfulfilled quem. Of the 9 sisters, I am the favorite of Eros, who carries my torch. I am half a double heart, fed by mirror melt, looking for a beat in a conga line. A sin box, my inbox, a brimming dreamway that slips liquid script into the future's abyss. And I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. Oh, you forgot to thank Robert. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, Robert, thanks for inviting me to that pajama party at Walt Whitman's birthplace. I would be there. Oh, I wasn't supposed to tell. Oh, Rufus, you messed up again. What's wrong with you, man? All right. So moving along just a little bit more here. I I submit to a lot of stuff in here, like the Three Penny Review, um, and then listening to music. I fan the sparks that park on my fan. You will not be at one till you woo my hand. Go now, prepare. Listen to Handel's fanfare, the arrival of Sheba, where the quest feels no shame. Hail, help meet, hail, meet help. I live to give, even as a web survives the storm. A single string snags the sun. Look out for me. I am adrift on a continent of intent. I whisper to the shipping agents of worship, land of 1,000 passwords. All right, and then I'm just gonna end over here since Rufus took all my time. I always like the beginning so much, but anyway. So Froggy went a courting and never came back. Go, Froggy. Listening to the dip, a little bit of love goes a long way. The Devils host the Cougars on the ice tonight. The bars on Ludlow beckon. Let's go to Copacabana and do the mashed potato, the jerk, the funky chicken, a little bit of gritty. Get into the swim, then to my place for a nightcap. You'll be a wick to my Wiccan. You may come and go, my Romeo, my loin-hearted king. Here's the deal, return policy. In other words, come back soon. Be my boo meringue. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, y'all. It's great to what you're doing.
Wonderful, Jeff. That was terrific reading, and people should buy your book. And come to listen to you read. You do great readings too. That reading that you did at the library, the Tompkins Square Park Library, was wonderful.
I'll see you at the pajama party, Ron. Thank you, man.
I'll be wearing pajamas. I'll shut up. Okay. I'll just try and read a couple quick ones. This is probably kind of political. Death is a soldier. What he really is a middle-aged guy wearing a MAGA cap who collects tons of books on military history and dreams what the world would be like if Hitler had won the war. He sits in a neighborhood bar knocking back vodka tonics, watching TV. Every time he looks up at the screen, something happens. Elon Musk attacks Social Security. Trump opens his mouth. Death nods knowingly and continues to drink as these disasters occur in real time. Even as he stares at his now empty glass and wonders whether he should order another, his mind is skimming over a list of the living, and whenever it stops on a name, that person gets picked up by ICE and is instantly deported. This is hard work, he thinks. Yes, I'll have one more. I've earned it. Sorry. And one other political poem. After the revolution, National Guardsmen dressed in riot gear surround the twisted wreckage of our president's shiny black limousine. His private jet, clearly labeled Trump, taxis down the runway, then slowly ascends, turning towards Russia. And can I get away with one more poem? Just one more. This is The Ascension of John Ashbery. John Ashbery read at Poets' House. He read downstairs, surrounded by a hushed and adoring crowd. He was comfortably seated in a movable chair, and after reading his poetry, he stayed in that fixture as he was helped out of the room and up to the second floor, where the bulk of the library is and where wine was being served. It seemed as if the entire crowd of well-wishers was pitching in to raise him up with their collective will so that he appeared to float above us all. He would eventually rise all the way up to Frank O'Hara's heaven, but not yet, not yet. And definitely, all of you guys, put your books in Poets House. It's a wonderful library, and they will be having their 2024, 2025 big party coming up in the future. And thank you again, George Wallace. You're amazing. This is a wonderful thing. Thank you so very much. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Ron. Thank you to your friends who are with us today, Austin, Patricia, and Jeff, and Rufus as well. And I'll be interested in getting the backstory on that pajama party very soon. Now, we're going to turn to our second group of poets, brought to you courtesy of two very good friends of mine, Tozan Alkan and Özge Cengiz. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing the names correctly, but
No problem, George. First, thank you for inviting us. Thank you very much. We are four poets here. Each one will introduce himself or herself. Cigdem, let's start with you. Please introduce yourself to us with a few sentences, please.
Okay.
Cigdem, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? The group can hear me?
Okay, now.
Okay. Well, I'm from Istanbul, and I was born in Istanbul in 1968 and graduated from the Bosphorus University, studied 2 degrees, economics and business administration, and currently now studying political science and international relations. And then I'm into different projects and traveling all around the world and representing the country in terms of poetry, artistic works, academic works in different 5 continents. And currently I visited totally 107 countries. And I'm into also in social responsibility projects. So should I start with the poems, or Tozan, you can
No,
direct
yes,
me?
please. Please go on, Cigdem. Go on with your poems.
Thank you very much. It is my proud to be, it's my honor to be with you. First of all, I'll start in order to feel the feelings in my language. I will try to rehearse in Turkish and then the English. Well, I'm going to start with the with the Twilight of the Child. Hafif bir esinti değildi. Aniden günün içinden fışkırdı o zifiri karanlık. Silahlanmış ve körleşmiş bir dünyada bütün şerler tepeleme dizilmişti. Mazi ve istikbal ebediyen ölüme terk edilmişti. Ufuktaki mermiler çocuğun gözünden parçalara ayrıldı ve savaş füzelerinin tarihi arşivleri özenle dosyalandı. Kederli ve kısa bir matemin evvelinde silahını indir diye yakarışlar, ağlayan talihsiz bebeğin annesinin son çığlığıydı. Savaştan etkilenen çocukları korumanın yüzü suyu hürmetine renkler tam da masumiyet beyaz ışığının göbeğinde toplanmıştı ve harbin bitimine, muharebenin sonuna kadar da öyle kalacaktı. O bakışıyla adeta ateş eder gibi bakan bir şövalyeyi andıran. Okay, I'll stop Turkish now and I'm going to continue in English so it will be better for understanding for everybody. Twilight of childish world peace. Suddenly, darkness crinkled out the day. The breeze was not mild. In the blind humanity, in an armed world, the wild evils are piled. The future and the dim past was doomed to death and compiled. Bullets in the horizon broke into the pieces in the eyes of child. And the historical archives of missiles are delicate film. Before the sound of set and short morning, put your gun down. It was the last scream of mother of the ill-fated crying baby. Colors are getting in the midst of innocence light of white for protecting the children affected by war. It remained like that until the absence of battle and the fight. The moon, with explosive looks, seems like a night, until the dusk with and without the light, touching the rapid clouds in the sight, and human who piled up the sins of the universe, shamelessly talking about psychosocial well-being of children, then solid hearts frozen in the bent knees. The flower child was calling the wisdom of mind in deep freeze, said, build me a house under the blistering roof of the big blue globe, that carving the bright feature with glowing peace and celebrates the splendid heartbeats of the nature that never cease. The child was typing an overwhelming evidence on my poetic breeze, walking on the path of a new horizon of the dazing way, that shattering the anger and hate speech. Kicking the hate makes silver white, turn in the gray, jerking the revolution that makes the elegance fade away, the new balanced equilibrium of harmony ready to sway. If the hate blocked and remains in the box of decay, and there comes a time water drops of rain become a sharper charm spray. Glorious stars beaming bright, burned by the fever of silent gaze. Peace gracefully packaged inside, the globe blessed with a new heart base. The shining face of humanity, a long-awaited return to real face. The wind was blowing in the circle of strong beginnings and weeks. Farewell to cynical poker faces of the familiar pattern of the evil events. When even the hate needed by the prejudices space to survive in hate. So child starts seeking for the unconditioned love, only sister of a fate. I realized the winged love that put her arm lightly around me finally sees the prolonged fight in the eye of child. The breeze was mild. So I'm going to finish over here. I have many poems, but I want to finish because it was too long. So
No, Cigdem, you have still time. You can read one more, but directly in English, please. Okay?
English. Okay, well, sure. Humanistic greediness versus plexonexia. Someone was thinking about the reason of extreme poverty in the world. Three shadows appeared in cave: greediness, narcissism, and arrogance. All three are the malicious sources of pluriasexia. No, pleuronexia, unbridled wants, while criticizing belligerently the dominant exclusive elite. Looking at the manuscript illustration of the historical man in cave, he worked hard, but he never described the matter profusely in detail. He never fed up reading a new story that eludes the facet of modern man. A breeze puffed through the nearby town at besieged world. The patterns of silver clouds, our horizons are expanded. The contemporary man of economic cost-benefit analysis was strengthening present threat to no fuzzy narrow civilization by hurting and creeping the nature of the nature, he said. Wide range of desires of man attributing meaning to life explained the necessity to persist and prosper. He was an absolute hoarder while criticizing hoarding. Oh, there was a perilous crowd near the cave. Men paved the way to the public. He was thoroughly analyzing articles and essays in economics, journals, discourse, climate change, desert, obese man, obsessed with a new outstanding theme. Oh, wow, and making a waterproof makeup to desert nature. He was kumizine about monopolistic regulator over the media and chuckling about the disparity of prosperity and power. And man finally invented a new terminology for the rationalization of his strange position, humanistic greediness. Finish. Thank you.
Okay, Cigdem, we thank you very much. We thank you very much. You read it very emotionally.
Thank you very much. Thank
Okay.
you. It's my honor.
Now it's your turn, Yavuz. Yavuz is going to read his poems in Turkish, and then Özge is going to read them in English version.
Maybe he can introduce himself first.
Maybe you can introduce yourself
Yeah.
in a few sentences, Yavuz.
Hello, everyone. My name is Yavuz. My English pronunciation might not be very good, so apologize in advance. I was born in Istanbul and graduated from the Faculty of Political Sciences at Istanbul University. I have 4 poetry collections and I have written 3 works of fiction and novel, a short story collection, and a play for nearly 2 decades. I have worked as a copywriter, editor, and publishing director in various institutions and publishing houses. And now I am going to read a few poems for you. Devrim. Artık devrim bitti. Kadınlar soğan kokan mutfaklarına çekildi. Çocuklar yeniden merdiven sağanlıklarına, soğuk betonlara. Terziler ellerine makaslarını aldı. 7 yıl kıtlığın ardından ferah günler yaklaştı. Böylece gövdeler esnedi. Silahlar yeniden gömüldü toprağa. Korkular güncellendi. Kükürt tabakası yavaşça çekildi üstümüzden. Gençler rehabilitasyon merkezlerine doğru seyirtti. Nihayet devrim bitti. İbadethanelerin önü süpürüldü hemen. Çünkü cuma selamlığına çıkacaktı politikacılar. Kafalarını uzattılar mahzenlerden usulca din adamları ve bürokratlar. Birkaç gün geçmeden kahramanlık tutukları attılar. Kendiyle ve toplumla barışık bir takım kişiler zuhur etti. Sonunda mutabakata varıldı. Ölüler artık hepimizin ölüleriydi. Böylece devrim bitti.
Thank you, Yavuz. Okay, now Özge will read its English version. Will read the translation because she translated it into English.
Okay, revolution. The revolution is over now. Women have returned to their onion-scented kitchens. Children sit again on stairs and cold concrete. Tailors took their scissors, and after 7 years of famine, a certain comfort begins to grow. Bodies stretch. Guns sink back into the ground. Fears are updated. A thin crust of sulfur slowly lifts from our faces. The young drift quietly toward rehabilitation. At last, the revolution is over. The fronts of mosques are swept. politicians will arrive for the Friday prayer. From their cellars they emerge, softly blinking, clerics, bureaucrats, newly washed of danger. Within days, the speeches begin, heroism polished, history repackaged. A few balanced souls appear, reconciled with themselves and with the nation. Consensus, finally. The dead belong to everyone now, and so the revolution is over.
Yavuz, your second poem, please, Yavuz.
Üçüncü rüyayı okuyorum. Üçüncü rüya. Az evvel uyudu. Az evvel uyudu daha çocuk. Evvel halimiz olan o ilk biçim. Vahşi ve devingen. Hayata ve ölüme aynı sürede yakın. Anca bir çocuk rüyadan içeri paldır küldür girebilir ve uzanıverir orada. Boyunca uzar, esnek gövdesi. Çocuk fotoğraf çektirir. Güneşe bakarken hafiften gözlerini kısar. Çünkü biraz sonra çakıl taşlarının şıngırtısında denize girmesi gerekir. Çocuk deniz kenarında kestirir. Rüyasında görür suya girdiğini ve ter içinde uyanıp koşarak denize atlayıverir. Çocuk balkonda uzaktan denizin sesini dinler. Yanında zeytin ağacı ve gıcırdayan sandalyesi altında. Çocuklar var etrafta. Bir sürü çocuk. Bağıran, neşeyle çığlık atan, koşan, tökezleyen ve düşen. Arada bir işlendikçe gözleri dolan. En çok ölümü bilmemekle övünebilir çocuk. Ve çocuğa her şey yordamınca anlatılabilir. Az evvel uyuyan ve rüyasında da yeryüzünü karnavala çeviren çocuk. Çocuklar artık rüyalarım içre değil.
Thank you. Thank you, Yavuz.
Third dream, just fell asleep. The child just fell asleep, the earliest form of us, our first shape, wild and restless, equally close to life and to death. Only a child can tumble headfirst into a dream and lie there, his limber body stretching to its full length. The child poses for a photo, squints gently at the sun, for soon he must dive into the chime of fables into the sea. The child dozes by the shore, dreams he's in the water and wakes in sweat, then runs and dives straight into the waves. The child sits on the balcony, listening from afar to the sea's voice. Beside him, an olive tree and a chair that creaks beneath his weight. Children are everywhere, shouting, laughing, running, stumbling, falling. Their eyes are suddenly filled with tears. A child's only pride is not knowing death, and everything can be explained to a child in a proper way. The child who just fell asleep and in his dream turns the earth into a carnival. Children no longer visit my dreams.
Thank you, Yavuz. Thank you, Özge. Yavuz, you can read one more poem,
Okey.
the third poem.
Mağarayı okuyalım o zaman. Özge de bunu önermişti. Mağara. Hiç devlet terbiyesi almadım. Almalı mıydım? Bu yüzden yok kürek kemiklerimden zuhur edecek o kanatlar. Parmağımda alyans yok. Yanımda yok herhangi bir evin kapısına uyacak bir anahtar. Cebimde yok elma soymak için bir çakı. Gövdem daima toprağa paralel. Başımda lanetli bir karga sürüsü her an gözümü oymak için tetikte bekler. Ay ışığında geceleri, paslanmış prangamı dişlerimle eziyorum gün be gün. Peki şimdi neredeyim? Yarı uykulu uzanıyorum taş döşeğimden. Yanımdan akıp giden suyu yokluyorum. Bu konaklamaya dair yanımda ne götürebileceğim? Şüphesiz hiç. Bir şey kalacak mı bundan geriye? Belki birkaç cümle. Uzattım gövdemi mağaramdan dışarı. Havayı kokladım bir hayvan gibi. Dışarıda asit yağmurları ve nükleer kalıntılar, Platon'un gölgeleri, Heyulaları geziniyor mağaranın galerilerinde. Heidegger'in keçisi, Levinas'ın köpeği, Zenon'un kaplumbağası. Ey ölmek üzere olan at, Nietzsche'nin delirmeden hemen önce sarıldığı.
Okay, Özge, now
Yeah.
let's hear the translation.
Cave. I was never taught by the manners of a state. Should I have been? That's why no wings will bloom from the bones on my back. There is no ring on my finger, no key to fit the door of any home beside me, no pocket knife to peel an apple with. My body lies always parallel to the earth. Above my head, a cursed flock of crows, ready to, at any moment, to pluck my eyes. In the moonlight at night, I bite through my rusted shackle day after day. Where am I now? Half asleep, I lie upon my stone bed, fingering the stream that slips beside me. Where can I take from this day? Nothing, surely. What will remain? Perhaps a few sentences. I stretch my body out of the cave, sniff the air like an animal. Outside, acid rains, nuclear residue. Plato's shadows wander the galleries, the phantoms of his thought. Heidegger's goat, Levinas' dog, Zeno's turtle. Oh, dying horse, the one Nietzsche embraced just before he went mad.
Teşekkürler.
Now Özge is going to read her own poems in English.
Okay.
But first, a few sentences about yourself, please.
Okay. Hi, George, and hi, everybody. Thank you for inviting us to this wonderful event. It's very nice to see you even online, George, after a few years, really. Actually, I'm former academician. I completed my master's and doctorate degrees in the Department of Linguistics here in Izmir, which is the third biggest city of Turkey. And I have worked and taught at many various universities in our country. And after having worked about 25 years, I think, I finally retired. And now I am, let's say, learning new languages and trying to translate and a bit interested in poetry, let's say.
And with cats.
Yeah, with cats. And I am an amateur, let me say. Maybe I'm probably better at reading poetry than writing it.
We are all amateurs.
Okay, so thank you very much. Let me read the first one. The Knot. The earth is a white eternity where the hours have been silent over and over. It is the life we always missed, standing against death. We are robots of a masked world. What will be left from the world? Lava, magna, or silence? In the abyss where we dropped our hearts, who will solve the puzzle of life? Our weapons are ready. Our eyes are far away. Our future is uncertain. Hope is the name of our past memories. How long does it take the snow to melt? The rain to stop? The fear to pass away? No one knows so far. The sky is a huge grave of darkness and of the stars. Nature will heal our wounds, and we will learn again what we have forgotten. So this is the first one.
Next one.
Let me go. The second one is the words. Words are ours. They cover you in winter. You feel warm with them, and you cool down in summer. When words get cold, you warm them. They take them in your palm, kiss them, smell them. Words have a soul, a color. Words are the storytellers of the universe. Our language has ample space. There is room for every word. A city for every village, a country for every city. There are grouse here at night. They sing songs in the moonlight. When evening falls, gray laments rise from the mountains. The grouse then fly away from our eye level and pass away. You remain with your dreams. Dreams are beautiful. They scatter strand by strand into the days. You remain with your dreams at night. Dreams are real. You remain with your words, memories. Words are beautiful.
We thank you very much, Özge. As you say, the words are ours. Go on, please.
Thank you. The last one, a very little poem, and the name of it is also little. You were little, he said. I found you with flowers. I protected you from naughty children. The man shrank and shrank. He tried to remember something forgotten. It didn't work, though. My street child, my street lover, my poetry winged, my broken colored. This time, the woman tried to forget everything, with all the noise of forgetting. They consumed their love with a fairy tale-like speed. Only the distance remained with them. But something was there, something was silent, something was missing.
Thank you. We thank you very much, Özge, for these nice poems. Now it's my turn. I am a poet, translator, and musician. I have translated so far more than 50 books, mostly poetry. And I have 6 poetry collections. Some of them were translated into other languages. I am also interested in music, as I told you before. I am going to read my poems in Turkish first, then, as usual, Özge will read them in English. My first poem is Zaman ve Maske. Zaman da bir maske, pişmanlıkların, dalgın bir mürekkep lekesi gibi masum günahıdır beyaz sayfaların. Kilit tutmuyor kapıların önü arkası. Her şey aynıdır anıların bahçesinde. Dağılan gövde, kuru sıkı yaşanmış yıllar. Esirgemiyor zehrini sarmaşık. Sen çekip gidiyorsun kolalı gömleğinle. Bense ne çok biriktirmişim, en çok ölüm. Yine de güvenemiyorum ölümüme. Zaman da bir maske, pişmanlıkların. Dalgın bir mürekkep lekesi gibi masum günahıdır beyaz sayfaların. Ben de beyaz bir leke gibi size aktım. Denizler yarıldı, bana tutundu boşluk. Ben batık gemi, içimde hiçbir yolcu yok. Ah kolsuz ahtapot, nasıl sıktın boğazımı, nasıl dişledin beynimi. Vazgeçtim yazmaktan, aşklardan apartılan o kırmızı şiiri. Çünkü istasyonsuzdu trenleriniz. Fenerleriniz ışıksız, suskunluğunuz sağır. Boşuna tabancalar aradım çarşılarda. Önümü, arkamı, kendimi boşuna aradım. Zaman da bir maske, pişmanlıkların. Dalgın bir mürekkep lekesi gibi masum günahıdır beyaz sayfaların.
Time and mask. Time is also a mask, like the absent-minded ink spot. It is an innocent sin in the white sheets of paper. As if it's been locked up and the key is thrown away, everything is the same in the garden of memories. Disintegration of bodies, memories of a sedentary life. The ivy spares not its venom. You go away with your well-ironed shirt. I realize, having saved more than necessary, when death is the matter, even death has hardly to be trusted. Time is also a mask, like the absent-minded ink spot. It is an innocent sin in the white sheets of paper. Just like a mask, I like a white blank ink spot. The seas are cleft, the void caught me. I'm a sunken boat with no passengers abroad. Oh, that octopus, how you constricted my neck, how it gnawed my brain. I give up writing, the red poem snatched at by loves. For your train were stations, our lamp was no good. For your taciturnity gave no sound. In vain did I look for a revolver in the markets. In vain have I looked for it. In vain did I spend my life. Time is also a mask, like the absent-minded ink spot. It is an innocent sin in the white sheets of paper.
İçinizde bir yer. Yalnızlığın ıslaklığındaydım, hüznün buğusunda. Boğulduğum her denizde koca bir dalga, her dalgada üşümüş bir maviydim. Utangaç bir çocuktum gençliğini bekleyen. Söz gelimi fesleğendim dağda. Şehirsiz, dilsiz bir ulak. Dünyadan gelip geçerken simit attım martılara. Yeryüzü bir uğultuydu, içime çekildim. Unutulmuş eski bir masaldım zamansız sözde. Bir yabancıydım gizlice aranıza sızmış. Salgın bir hastalık, akıl çarpıntısı. Özgül ağırlığıydım taşın. İki kuş arasındaki uzaklık. Eksik bir alfabeydim aşk tarihinde. Acı çeken bir bıçak. Korkuyor muydum? Korkuyordum kanamaktan. Bir şehir nasıl kalkıp giderse oydum. Bir ağaç nasıl köküne büyürse, bir yol nasıl kendine dönerse. Evvel zaman içindeydim, kaldım zaman içinde. Oturdum, soluklandım dünyanın gölgesinde bir ömür. Dünya sizin, ay sizin, yıldızlar sizin, bense yerle gök arasında bir yerdeydim. Yalanla gerçek, uykuyla düş, betonla toprak arasında. Yüzünü düşürmüş bir güne bakan gibi dalgın, uykulu sıcağın kokusunda, yatağını terk etmiş bir derenin kimsesizliğinde, gurbete giden sürgün rüzgarın sürüklediği uçurtmanın kuyruğundaydım. Yaralı bir attım yarışlardan çekilmiş, ağır sularda rahvan. Şimdi oyundan aparsız çıkarılan çocuklar gibi kaldım.
A room for me among you. I am in the wet of solitude and the mist of spleen. In every sea I found myself drowned among the billows. I had been blue who chilled me. I was a bashful child on the eve of my adolescence. For instance, I was sweet basil on the mountain, a mute messenger. As I was on my way, I threw rolls to seagulls. The earth was in a hullabaloo, so that I withdrew myself within me. I was the untimely hero of an old tale consigned to oblivion, a stranger perhaps who sneaked among you furtively, a product of epidemic spread, endowed with dull intelligence, the specific gravity of stone, the distance between two birds, a set of letters in which certain letters were missing, a sorrowful sight, knife in the history of love. Was I afraid? Afraid? Yes, afraid of bleeding. I might be taken for a whole town in Exodus. Just like a tree whose stem grew inversely into the depths of the earth, reminiscence of a self-directed road, I lived in ancient times wherein I still am abiding. I sat down to give myself a break in the shade of a tree throughout my life. The world was yours, so were the moon and the stars. While I happened to be somewhere between the earth and the sky, between a lie and the truth, between sleep and dream, between concrete and the earth. I was absent-minded, like a dropping sunflower redolent with somniferous heat, in the loneliness of an abundant stream, at the tail end of a kite, swept by an exiled wind on its way to a strange land. I was wounded racehorse that used to participate in races. Now I was an ambling horse in shallow waters. In short, I am now like a kid that has been declared odd man out.
These two poems were translated by Ender Gürol. He was a good friend of mine. He died 2 years ago. And this one, the one which I am going to read now, its title is Yaza Hazırlık, was translated by him, Ender Gürol, and George. Yaza hazırlık, bir uçurum bulmuş gibi bir boşluk. Hadi gel sıcak şeyler bulalım kendimize. Bir uzun kapı, sınırsız düşlere açılan. Kimselerin konuşmadığı bir dil. Kurutulmuş domatesler, kurutulmuş güneşler. Uykulu bir sokak kedisi, kullanılmamış bir aşk. Tarihi Yel Değirmeni mahallesinde askıda ekmek, askıda şarap. İyi gelir yoksulluğa ve kimsesizliğe, kendi kulağına fısıldadığın masallar. Daha yaza çok var, yüzümüzün yarısı var yaza. Uzun söğütler var, insansız parklar var. Sesler var susmak için, solmak için renkler. Çelik perdeler kuşlar girmesin diye. İçimizde birikmiş nefesler, birikmiş sözler. Her kadında biraz erkek, her erkekte biraz yaz. Her ummadığın şeyde umduğun bir şey var. Hadi gel, çocukluk aşklarımız da geldi bak. Ormanlardan kopup ayağımıza geldi ağaçlar. Şapkalarımızla birlikte şemsiyelerimiz de geldi. Unutulmuş ortaçağ söylenceleri, ninniler, alfabeye girmeyen harfler, giren harfler, kötü şeyleri bırakıp bir pazartesiye, üşümemek için sıcak şeyler bulmaya geldi. Hadi sen de gel, daha yaza çok var.
Preparations for the summer, as though I were in a vacuum suspended in an abyss. Come on, let's get a hot drink somewhere. A tall door, gateway to endless dreams. An old language no one speaks anymore. Dried tomatoes and dried suns. A somnolent stray cat, a love no one benefits from, in the historical Yel Değirmeni quarter. Bread and wine in suspense. Tales that you whisper in your own ears. Elixirs of poverty and loneliness. The summer is far away, halfway to our face. The summer is far away. There are high willows. There are deserted parks. Sounds are there anticipating to shut up, and colors anticipating to fade away. Steel screens to keep birds imprisoned. Breaths and words accumulated in us. Every woman has an animus, every man a summer. There is in everything something unanticipated, something you expected to find. Come, see our calf love is back. Trees rooted out from their places in the forest, along with our hats and umbrellas. The long-forgotten legends of the Middle Ages, lullabies, letters left out, new letters to fill the gap. Now let's put off bad things till next Monday and find something hot to drink to keep us warm. Come along, you. The summer is still far away.
Okay, we thank you all, and we thank again George for this nice gathering. Now we are ready to hear the other poems.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you to all of you from joining us today from Turkey. Really pleasant to hear your excellent translations. And while we all appreciated the beauty of the Turkish language and in your hands, the translations also communicated a lot to us. I know I had a very good experience. So thank you for sharing this. We'll now turn to our third of three groups. I knew of Collapse Poets, because I think a Friday night series of that used to Zoom But it turns out that in some manner they're not too far away from us here in New York City. That's interesting. That's somebody's suit. Oh, okay. All right. Back to what we're doing. Eastern Pennsylvania, which is just sort of across the border from New Jersey, so it's about a 2.5-hour drive, and they hosted the Brevitas Poets about 2 years ago. I went with them, and there's a nice futurism movement or poetry there in Eastern Pennsylvania, which we were kind of celebrating on that occasion. I did not know that it also have a strong connection to Oakland, where they're part of the Beast Poetry Press Festival, Beast Poetry Crawl Festival. So this is a bi-coastal group of people, as you'll see from the people that have been gathered today for us by Lynn Alexander. So to introduce the collapsed poet people, let's welcome Lynn Alexander.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I hope you can hear me okay. Thank you, George, everyone here today. The Walt Whitman Birthplace. It's a place dear to my heart and my childhood. So today, I'm introducing poets from Collapse Press. Collapse Press is a press that I co-founded with Paul Corman Roberts, and it's bi-coastal, east and west coast of the USA. And Paul was not able to be here today, but we will be represented by Raschka and Richard Loranger. And after they read, I will share a few, and that's how it will go. So Han will be first. Raschka is a queer Midwest poet. Their first collection, Splinters, was put out by our press, Collapse Press, in 2022. Their chapbook Enamel from Bottle Cap Press was published in 2023. They are the 2024 second place winner for the Wisconsin People and Ideas Contest. Han was also a finalist for the Charles M. Hart Jr. Award and the Therese Muller Memorial Nonfiction Award at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, where they study creative writing. Welcome, Han.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much to George, to the Walt Whitman Birthplace Association, and then, of course, Lynn Alexander and Richard Loranger, two very beloved people to me that I'm very, very happy to be able to read with today. So I'll just get into it. WikiHow, how to manifest your dream man. 1, understand what it means to dream. Keep a dream journal for 1 moon cycle. Note how when the sky is carved clean of lunation, your dreams get hungry. What are they hungry for? What turns your stomach overripe? Name him anything you'd like. 2, be specific. Don't just give him a name. Drink dandelion root and channel his social security number. Run through all the nasty, bitter arguments you'll have while you take a shower. Buy shoes you know he'll love to see you in. Stop buying underwear, so you have to stop wearing underwear because you know he hates the idea of being kept from you. Hear how he apologizes in your head, so you know how to forgive him when he arrives. 3, decide your method. Bloodletting is messy, but ensures quick results. Candles laced with rose hips and strawberry quartz ask a lot of patience for their payoff. Write down what you will intone every day at the same time. Call out of work if you have to. Quit your job, lose your apartment. Know that everything you ask for can be compromised on. 4, carry his image in your head everywhere you go. His soft eyes, the laugh lines around his mouth, the way his hair plasters against his forehead in the heat. See his face on every strange man with hands to offer. See him in the mirror. See him on glass window panes at the mall, warped and still yours. 5, keep the faith. The first few weeks will feel hopeless. You may want to file your manifestation away. If you feel the need to give up, you already failed at step 1. Go back. What turns your stomach overripe? What sweetness can you never give up on? 6, You'll know when you meet him. A feeling of desperation will fill you just before he appears. Any man will look like him, and so you find him in the next man who steps in front of you on the new moon. Nothing you wrote down will happen, but everything you asked for can be compromised on. 7. Live happily ever after. Search for proof of success in every part of your love. You were only 4 digits off on his social security number. He does apologize, so your perfectly rehearsed forgiveness can be lathered onto the wound. His hair adheres to his forehead in the heat like rotted apple flesh to the counter. You smell rose hips in his clothing. You ignore lacy hip hugger panties in the laundry basket. His face warped and still yours. Timothy Treadwell, American bear enthusiast, does not return to Alaska, fall 2003. My solar plexus demands tangible risk because I reckon with nothing in the grocery aisle or in the folds of a bank envelope. Will I ask to be ravaged? Yes. In a thin carpeted hotel room in Pasadena, I page through photos of bears I have named myself. I am a childed man, a single father to hundreds of little deaths that I have loved and wished for my whole life. Tender is the beast who winds my ribcage into some new and fearful shape. I bury the fox I treasured in the sandbox, my miracle. Slip his tail counterclockwise around his tulip skull, my miracle. I crave a clean violence, an unribboning that is natural, never an affront to anything except my hip bones that foster a desperation against the mundane. You carry my wristwatch in your stomach, slip my arm down your throat. I have loved and wished for you my whole life. A woman dies in the front seat of a Nissan Altima going 80 on the freeway. I rummage through her. In another life, we are shored up in Alaska, laughing at the Old Dominion, raspberry seeds slicing our gums. My miracle, a lover I would have killed. My miracle, a bear in the back seat, easy to forgive. Soiled sun. My mother tells me tulips migrate every winter, wayfish and tender. Flight is easy when you're unrooted. I learned what it means to lose when my father buries a woman he buried long before she died, a mother he could throw a punch for, knock-toothed and howling. I watch him palm a shovel like a shotgun. I have never seen a shotgun. I have never seen a son bury his mother so quietly. I carry my father's teeth home, a kindness small enough for my hands, wayfish and tender hands, unrooted teeth, fistfuls of my father in my sweat-coated palms, a shotgun I have never seen. A son buries his mother. I bury his teeth by the tulips. I remind them to come back. I remind my father he is not unrooted. I pile mounds of earth on his feet while he sleeps. I learn what it means to lie when my mother tricks me. I look for my father's teeth under the snow, find fistfuls of tulip bulbs, my shotgun, the punch. And I've just got one more for you. The radio man says women are a curse. I eat the root I bought from an Etsy witch who charged me $150, a ruby beet in my full gullet that attracts large hands, larger mouths, smaller tongues, long legs. Tuned into the lechery, I strip God off my teeth. I fumble my credit card through the Etsy checkout process, $300 on a vision that results in my vicious becoming. Women are a curse, so the hexes stay on the shelf. I take a digital ad out on a pornography website that says I am ready and willing to starve for the right price. $400 for a witch's promise that my stomach will never crave fullness again. The radio man says women are a curse, and I believe him. $800, and the Etsy witch purrs love spells on my behalf, and I will be sweat-drenched and in love in the next 90 days, or I can pay to try again. Etsy has blocked my card due to suspicious transactions, and women are a curse even as they beg for blessings. I have a deep red tongue from the beetroot I suck and crush between my faithless teeth. Any man could fall in love with me, and the Etsy witch charts my course to the right one for a steal. $1,200 tucked under her press-on nails and web weaver hands. The radio man says women are a curse, and I deny pleasure for promised pleasure, an investment in ecstasy with no money-back guarantee. My porn site ad has attracted zero traffic, despite rolling my knees into a grovel, cold calling every man whose search history includes porn where they look like they're in love. This loving Etsy witch is bankrolled on my empty coffers of desperation. No cash left to pin under her wrists. You're fated for filth. I am comforted by dirt, made rotten by vulgar beat that stains my lips and teeth. The spell that quells my appetite has worn off. The radio man says women are a curse, and I wind his tree trunk body down my throat and into my 3 divine stomachs. My teeth are God. My teeth are for sale on Etsy for a good price and a promise to chew every witch of commerce into beetroot bubblegum. I close my storefront after 4 hours. This seller is on vacation. This seller is coming home to the filth. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Han. And I will put your website and Richard's in the chat when he starts reading. So next we have Richard Loranger. Richard Loranger is a multi-genre writer, performer, text artist, and all-around squeaky wheel, currently residing in Oakland, California. They're the author of 6 books of poetry and flash prose, including Mammal, Unit of Agency, now in its 2nd edition, Be About It, Sudden Windows, Poems for Teeth, The Orange Book, and 10 additional chapbooks. Richard has worked in over 100 magazines and journals, and they've recently joined a multidisciplinary performance troupe, the Wandering Ensemble, based in the East Bay of San Francisco. Thank you, Richard, and welcome.
Hey, everybody. I'm so glad to be here and see people I know from not only around the country, but around the world. I'm like, which is a word I'm still trying to learn how to spell. But let me dive in. I'm going to read from my Collapse Press book, which I'm so proud of, called Unit of Agency. It also has my favorite cover, which is a photo I took, but it's of the crumbling ruins of the warden's house on Alcatraz, which I think is a great theme. There's a theme for you. Because this reading started at 9 a.m. my time, and I had just eaten an egg, I'm going to start with a poem called Eating an Egg. Ripped from the womb of an angry bird, you slide down my throat with such ease, I could almost believe myself peaceable. Eating an egg. Okay, this one I'm going to dedicate to George today because why not? Because I think it seems right. Earth Punk. Call me Earth Punk and step away if you don't. I'm not here for the fashion. I'm not here for the hair. I'm not here for the scene or the being seen. I'm here for the passion. I'm here for the song. I'm here for the truth and noise and anger and politics. I'm here for the dirt, for digging in dirt, for the politics of dirt, digging the loam, the must, the marrow, digging the mirror of the mind, the unkempt world, digging the space between molecules, the space between us, the lines and lack of lines, the borderless, the endless flow and interchange, the pulsing, skinless fallacy of I. I'm here for the digging. I'm here for the roots and air, the striving outward, the grappling. I'm here for the suck of wind, the information of sun, for the finding of the dew, I'm here for the rain, for the sheer cleansing drench of rain, for the pounding, soaking rain that drums away difference, that drains away spite, that deionizes the sky and land, that deionizes us, turns friction into grass, melts conflict into luscious soil, feeds life. I'm here for the taste of it, for the taste of earth in my cells, the scent of lightning, the hair-raising audacity of trees, the resoluteness of trees. Got conflict, got oppression, got strife? Yes. Lie face down between old roots and take a deep draught, then decide a course of action. The politics of earth are no different than the human melee. Yes, we love each other, and yes, we fuck each other up, always have and always will, just like moon, ocean, rock, leaf, ice, flame, rain, dust. But unlike our muddled monkey thoughts, the ideology of soil is relatively pure. Live and rot, become, transmit, transform. Sure, you can cage life, sell the air, pretend to own the sun, rip and tear and die, writhing in inexorable need. Or you can be the vine that twines and stays. Eat dirt, sister brothers. Drink sky, my friends. Wrap yourselves in lakes and stone. These are not commands. I'm earth punk. I don't command. I don't even ask. These are what you do every day. These are what you are. Dig. This book contains one of the few poems I ever have written that refers to Walt Whitman directly. So I'm going to read that one. It was written during the Bush Jr. administration, but gosh, it just seems so relevant today. It has references to American 1970s TV shows, so pardon if anyone is unfamiliar. With nation, with lover. Buried in work, my mind begins to drift. And thereupon, I dream a funny, scrolling, sentimental list of 70s TV sitcoms. Mary Hartman, The Courtship of Eddie's Father, Love, American Style. And in my goofy sleep, I smile until the list rolls up an odd title of a show I'd never seen, in fact, was never made, but that I nonetheless endearingly recalled, a caterwauling hit about an ardent president based upon a long-lost poem never writ by jubilant Walt Whitman, a little giggle-hearted farce about a president who treats his loving country as if, absurdly as it sounds, might be the one he cares about the most. Imagine that. As if he cared about the health and wealth of every citizen, as she or he or they might have a value personally beyond the mass psychosis, cash. As if he really gave a shit about a single form of life beyond that motherless mutation, corporation, Darwin's doll. As if he recognized as kin all the people living here, fought the stark, dehumanizing forces of the popular, and strove to be, as Whitman saw, or might have seen, with nation, with lover. What a show that must have been. Do I have time for one more? I think so. I'm not, yeah, it looks like I do. And since we're so international, and thank everything for that, I chose one that takes place in San Francisco International Airport because I spy a 2-pack of condoms. I spy a 2-pack of condoms that's been dropped on the floor in the waiting area for gate 45 in SFO, and I think that loss could change the course of history. I think that could be a matter of life and death, of life or of death or of non-existence. It's 10:30 in the morning, but I got up at 6, so I'm coffeeed and bleary and lugging too much shit, and this feels pretty damn early for an existential dilemma, hypothetical or not. Or maybe it's in fact the perfect time, since I'm about to fly across North America in 2018 to spend a couple of weeks alone in Mom's big old house in Cape May, New Jersey, on a tiny sand peninsula jutting between the Delaware Bay and the Atlantic Ocean. Then a couple of weeks visiting friends in New York City amidst too many people. Then a ways upstate amidst little towns and never, ever, ever enough woodland. I'm looking at a good chunk of time, chilling and reflecting and writing and catching some East Coast air and some early spring mid-Atlantic weather, then cavorting and converging and creating and recreating with people who have known me well for decades, who in some ways are the source and core of my humanness. So in effect, I'll be viewing and reviewing my life to date at a time when I'm definitely muddling through the confusion and muck of my memory and experience, whatever that means, to evaluate whether any of this fits together, whether I've accomplished anything real, whether all this toil, this roil, all these days and all these breaths have been worthwhile, whatever that means. I look around at the billions of people filtering through this gate, through this causeway, through this terminal to fling themselves into air, or having been flung from melee to melee, throng to throng, culture to culture, kindness to kindness, beauty to beauty, hope to hope, struggle to struggle, strife to strife, conflict to conflict, conflagration to conflagration, till all this flinging seems frantic, febrile, forsaken. So I look again at those condoms and I think, yep, those are condoms. And I think somebody might not get to use them. And I think somebody might. Then I don't think for a few moments. Nothing at all. Thank God for that. And I perk up. I lighten. I feel like something shifted, hit the reset button. And I think anything can happen. And that's true. Anything can. Someone will love and someone will die, and every day someone is born who doesn't hate, and who might grow up not hating, and who might say something to make someone else not hate, or stop hating, or never hate. And they might say something too, and so on as we inch toward intelligence, toward compassion, toward humanity. And who cares if this is unknowable, unpredictable, unfashionable? It sounds good to me. Blessings to all. Thanks so much. Looking forward to Lynn. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Han.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Richard. Thank you. And Han, thank you so much for sharing. So I will get started. And thank you guys for hanging in here too, to the end. Mother, I know about your fires, the horizon where blues of ocean meet sky, as iris as blue pulled to the pupil. Your war waters became dilation you drank pulled to vanish as to a black hole. In America we know like the cow who knows damn well where she is going. We want to be wrong about who we are, who we have been. We want to be wrong, but we know. We know like the cow who knows damn well where she is going, and we don't question our surroundings openly. They say that we can't feel a slow boil. It just happens. We soak up and bloat toward death, and we don't question. Having jumped in willingly, we think, but we don't know we're on the stove. We won't feel collapse when it is happening. We won't know in the moment. We won't see the sides of the pens. In the corral, nobody knows what happens next until they do. The desire to live as all want to live kicks in, and then the fences make sense. It is easy to shrug when it isn't you, or you think it isn't you, or maybe it isn't you yet. So you stand in the grass, touched by the sun, oblivious to the missing. They say the herd is thinning. They say this is a good thing. They say that greatness takes culling, more grass for the valuable. Yes, we say, more grass, we say for us. Culling is a practice that considers value, productivity, health. To cull is to prioritize those cows worth keeping. Worth keeping, we think. We can get behind all of this, but we forget. A voice says, you are valuable because they can eat you. Another waking up, and it's that dream again. It's that dream. Your house is burning down. You see your face in the window. You're free, but you can't leave. Have you had this dream? Have you felt your throat raw after the worst kind of screaming? In my dream, I'm not screaming as much as I am filling with the dead cement, so it is more that I am drowning and I am fixed in that place beautifully quiet. And there is a scream that a mother understands, a different scream silent like the deer who crosses the road, but her baby, naive, lanky behind her doesn't make it. And there are threats she doesn't understand, simply doing what an animal does, learning the way to the water. And there's a phantom baby sound forever behind her. And I think that we have these phantom screams that we lead around behind us, and they break our relationship with every kind of God. And I say poets, artists, neighbors, everyone in this world that we love. I say investigate my vandalism and don't let poison become your truth. Find the words, what slowly kills you. We all have roads to cross. Keep that pill out of your shoe. The blisters will not help you. I'm alive, but I won't be in my body when I arrive. When I am slabbed, I ask that you cut me. Investigate my vandalism, peel back my eyes, find where my organs went, who invaded these cavities, bring justice to my empty, ask these questions for me, learn about my sisters, my force-fed thinning sisters, you skin, profit, lie, society, money, and men, ripping wings from our queens. In statues once where we ate our grapes in fullness, to our faces they took chisels, and I was alive before the fire, and I say, please return my stolen property. And all around the city, there are piles of me, bone bits diminishing. What do you say to all these pieces? What do you say about your love while you watch the girls burn? What do you say about your needs? I say your mother is in this circle with me, and tell me, what does she need? She says snakes and some concrete. So I will do one more, I think, from, let's see, I will do one more from my book, from Collapse. The witch of me I keep in the velvet of my bones. Moon mother, her cells form a nest, a saturated womb for you, red from the fire. The heart beats, blood out to the capillaries, lush, ripened like a plum. And pearls in the pit cling, marrow mother, the witch of me, I keep in the velvet of my bones. And we step out from our shadows in found forms, and we reach across the kneading. We search with our bones. We reach, we lay logs across the road. We find the silences in storms. We rise up in the eye. I live apart from this, but in the eye, I am alive. Thank you all so very much. Thank you for everything. And thank you, George, and everyone for having us.
Wonderful. Start to finish, 1 hour, 38 minutes. Everybody was so good with the timing and the delivery of the material. I don't think there was a single poem there that I would be happy to have missed. It was really a beautiful gathering today. Thank you all for joining us. This is the penultimate reading for this season. And we are coming back in 2026, but in December, you'll see we have some people from Storytelling on Orchard Street. That's New York City. We have Nassau County, Long Island, Poets Laureate. And we have a group of poets organized by Yusuf Alawi, a American poet who is a citizen of about 15 different states here in the United States, plus Paris, plus Morocco as well. And he's gathered a group called the Ziggurat Poets. So should be a very lively and engaging afternoon as well. That's the last gathering in December. But for now, I want to thank you all of you gathered by Ron Kolm, Tozan Alkan, and Lynn. Thank you as well. Great group of readers today. And that's it. This should be on YouTube in about 3 or 4 days. So I encourage you to watch it on YouTube and share it with your friends, because I know that.
Thank you. Thank you very much,
Thank you
George.
so much,
Thank
George,
you all.
everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank
thanks.
you.
Nice to meet you all.
Wonderful meeting Collapse people. I know you, Richard.
It was really, yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The Turkish people, everybody. And my brevies.
This was wonderful, and Easton does have a book festival that just passed that was wonderful, and there'll be a book festival, I would imagine, again next year.
Yep.
They're phenomenal.
We do it the middle of October every year. So welcome in Easton if you can make it there. Thank you.
Great little town.
Mhm.
And are you Phillies fans or Yankees fans?
I'm a Pirates fan.
Pirates. All right. Go Pirates. All right. All right. Thank you all. This is actually still recording. So as you filter off, hopefully Walt Whitman Birthplace will turn this off at some point. So to say, the recording's finished. But we're live. We're still recording. This should appear up to the point they cut it off. Thank you all for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. And we'll see you again very soon, all of you, I hope.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Stay
Well,
safe,
be
everybody.
well. Be well.
Peace out.